Yeah.
This meeting is being recorded by the host.
You know, you told me.
It's the way.
Oh, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. What's been happening?
Having a coffee because I stayed up way too fucking late watching the T20 World Cup.
How good was it?
Very good, very good. I've only got praises to say for the entire team. Actually, I don't think there's too much wrong we did as an entire whole. Some people say that Mitchell Starc got carded. Mitchell Starc did get carded. Mitchell Starc did get carded. Did get brought on when Kane Williamson was directly focused in. Yeah, he was only missing his line by a little. There was no that pitch was offering no swing, and he isn't someone who digs it into the pitch, so he wasn't getting as much out of it as Hazelwood or Cummins was because they were digging it into the pitch.
Yeah,
as you saw when the New Zealand bowlers come in, they took apart Southey. You know, they took apart Milne. They picked apart their spinners a lot. I mean, Neesham, a good bowler on his day, got fucking carded. You know what I mean? Like you can't say that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased and I just want to defend Mitchell Starc as much as possible. But yes, none for 60 isn't a good look.
None for 43.
But I mean, I loved it that like Williams on that over he particularly got carded on. Williamson nicked four, like missing the fielders, and then carded one, and then nicked an inside edge for four. Like not like only one or two out of the middle of the bat.
Yeah, it was that one where he changed the line to leg stump is where Williamson just off the bottom. It was going. It was going.
Hazelwood bowled incredibly.
Yes, I will agree with that.
So good, man. Oh, he got good. I did make one call. I was talking to my old man about it before the game Sunday, and I was like, "This is my call for the game. We bowl first. Hazelwood bowls good, but they still post a pretty good scope total, which they did." And said, and then I said Maxwell to be the star because I said Hazelwood to take 3, be our best bowler. And I said, I did say Maxwell to be the star, but more importantly, I said Maxwell to hit the winning runs to get us the World Cup.
And he did.
I was like, yeah.
He did that reverse, did that little reverse shot.
Mitchell Marsh.
Bro, he was on fire.
Right, the instant he came out first ball and he's cracked that ball for, was it a 6 off the first ball?
Six first ball, 4 a second.
I was like, you.
It was 14 off 3, bro.
I was like, we're on here. Yeah. Like, there's not a chance in fuck we're not on it. Like Mitchell Marsh looked good. The difference between Mitchell Marsh last night is you saw in his eyes when every time he hit a shot, he's like, oh, it's like so pumped.
He wanted it.
Mentally pumped to be hitting it. And he was so happy he wanted it. And I think that's been a problem with him for a long time. I actually think it mightn't have been his talents. It may have been his drive and want. And I think being out of the side, outed, pulled back down, now put back into the side a bit older, he has that want. He wants to be there now. That he wants to be
his spot. He wants to keep it. Yeah.
How old is
exactly
he?
Right.
31, so he's got plenty of age still left on him. Oh, look. Mitchell Marsh has been like backing a bad horse. You know, you sit there and you're like, oh, he's got so much talent. Oh, it's going to win. But the horse never won.
He's got the potential to be something.
Finally, he's done good. And I've always liked the idea of him. But he just never functioned. But now, like, he's a solid fit for the 2020 side and he works perfectly in it. And I think due to that, one-day side.
Yeah, he's white ball, straight in the white ball side. Both white ball sides.
He's not. Cameron Green's a much better fit for tests.
Yeah.
In saying that, I actually think Cameron Green's a much better fit for one-dayers as well. But Mitchell Marsh's record.
Saying that we do have a number 5 spot open as well. Let's just say that.
What, for one-dayers?
Nah, for the test match.
You're not picking Mitchell Marsh. You pick Mitchell Marsh. Fucking look, he's batting good. But T20 batting and test batting is 2 completely different fucking stories.
Yeah.
It's good to see Warner hitting there, but I don't know. I don't know that Mitch Marsh is up to it. There's a lot of talks about the Ashes being, the Australian side hasn't prepared for the Ashes. Half of them are over here at the T20 World Cup. Fuck, we just won. I sat there and I'll keep saying, they're like, oh, Steve Smith hasn't been playing any long form cricket. It's like, you're not going to leave the best batsman in the world out of a World Cup, are you?
Exactly.
You can't leave these people out. You're not going to leave, arguably the 3 best pace bowlers in the world out. And do you make a case for Zampa to now play Test cricket?
No.
Why not? Why not?
We got Swepson there.
Did you see how good this cunt was bowling?
That's white ball.
And?
He
Oh,
gets pumped in red ball, mate. Like,
does he?
You wanna have arguments against spinners. We can throw Nathan Lyon out. Like, he's just been and gone. Like, yeah, okay, he's been there as our permanent spinner. But you got to give one of the young kids.
He's not.
You got to give one of the young kids a go. No, but the only reason why Zampa and Swepson had a run in the Test squad was due to playing in India.
Yeah.
And they're playing on a turning pitch and still couldn't do anything on a turning pitch and got smacked.
This is true. Doesn't mean I'm
a fan of Swepson.
I am too. I really like
Swepson,
and I kind of hope that he does get picked in his Test side because I think he'll do a fucking fantastic job and we'll have, we'll have some forever.
Depth. There will be depth in that squad if he gets picked as well. Even if it's just in the squad, not in the Test side, just in the squad, so he's there if need be.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
there will be
Zampa's Sheffield Shield stats, but I don't know if he bowls too often for Sheffield Shield, does he?
Sheffield Shield? No.
Find his fucking stats, bro.
He's more or less a white ball specialist.
Yeah, but he's so good. I don't want him to be just a white ball specialist. I'd like to see him attempt.
But we need that spinner. We need that constant spinner in the white ball side.
Why not? But I don't. He bowls such.
You're not going to throw Lyon in there.
He bowls such a good line and length, mate. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have to restrict him to purely fucking that. First class. Here he goes. First class average is 48. That is pretty bad. He's got a 10.
Whereas you have a look at his white ball average, it just BBL average is 22.
Oh, mate, his T20 international stats
is 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's a white ball specialist. Economy rate of under 8. Like, that's not bad at all.
Swepson. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things, man. I don't know. Zampa's proven himself on the bigger stage, so I kind of want to give him a go.
Yeah.
We give everyone else a go. Like, why not? Why not give him a go? But I mean, if he does get pumped, he gets pumped, I guess. Fucking, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna bring this up this week, and I'll let you sit on it, and we'll talk about it next week more in length. But right now, we've got a number 5 spot open because George Bailey, one of the selectors for the Australian side, has turned around and said Marcus Harris will more than most definitely be partnering Warner.
That's all right. I have no problem with that. Some people have a problem with that. I don't.
I've got no problem with that. But who would you put in the number 5 spot?
Do we have a machine where we can clone Mattis Labuschagne?
No, but we could do with another Queenslander in the side that's actually been batting really well.
Oh no, I'd want to open with Khawaja.
You would want to open?
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't open in Shield?
He averages 80 opening. They just don't open him in Shield because you got Bryce Street and Joe Burns.
Yeah. And then you got
the only reason he's not opening is because there's other specialist openers. That's it. That's the only reason. He can bat 3 and 4 a lot better. You're not going to drop Labuschagne and stuff like that, are you?
No, but which is why I would put him in 5.
No.
Like he needs a spot in that side.
No.
You don't reckon? So who would you number 5 be?
Youngblood.
Get
some youngin in there. Get some youngin in there, mate. Why not?
Yeah.
When you got heads, well, why not a Travis Head?
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't. We'll have to bring it up more. We'll talk about Ash's side next week.
That's why I said I'll bring it up now so you can think about it during the week, and then I'll bring it up
I have to have
again.
a look at the stats. There should be a big talk towards a Nick Maddinson or someone like that. If you look at his Sheffield Shield's stats for the last 5 years, he's actually pretty much been top 2 the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. At a middle order range. So Nick Maddinson to me would be the way to go. Unfortunately, he just looks like a flog. Not to judge a book by his cover, but he's got a shit haircut. I don't know. Shit haircut can say a lot, I guess.
Yeah. And
it's like not like a shit haircut, like he's just doing it for the shits and gigs, like Adam Zampa. I think he's got a shit haircut on purpose because he wants one.
Yeah.
But no, it was so awesome. We won the T20 World Cup. Holy fuck. Like from now on, like there's all these talks and no one fears Australia anymore in the T20 realm. Like no one's fearing it. We just won the fucking T20 World Cup.
Like we were written out in the first
Pakistan, 2 games. We lost to England. I get that. We lost to England. And we probably shouldn't have. But
guess which team beat England and we just beat them?
New Zealand. And New Zealand beat them pretty nicely too.
Exactly.
Just the pitch had a lot of demons in it, but everyone come out and did a good job. I hope to fuck no one's going to sit there and go, oh, Aaron Finch did nothing. Aaron Finch did nothing. Aaron Finch is arguably one of the better white ball captains you'll see. I don't know. Like, I understand there's a lot of losing and stuff like that, but he's a pretty fucking good captain.
In this series, in this World Cup, I think he won 4 out of the last 5 tosses, right? And every time that we won the toss, he only won the last 2. Because I saw something saying that he's won 4 of 5 or something like that.
Oh, maybe.
But every time that he's won the toss, he has made the correct call, and we have won.
He's a good captain, mate. You can't put money on a good captain.
Exactly right. Yep.
Good luck on my second beer.
Nice.
That's look. Okay, we'll talk about individual performances then, real quick.
Yep.
I didn't time step this either. So Martin Guptill come out, played really slow. Obviously, it was a very 2-pace pitch. A lot of the ball was digging in and stopping a little bit. Obviously, Hazelwood come out, dismissed Mitchell pretty rapidly, and then later on got out Phillips really good too. Big talk about Guptill being able to just dominate the spinners, and I think he was seeing off Hazelwood and Cummins.
Yeah, he was getting ready for Zampa.
Waiting for Zampa. Yeah. They capitalized a little bit on Maxwell, but Maxwell actually, for me, the unsung 5th bowler. None for 28. He went over 9 and over. He's an off spinner, and he bowled the hard overs, and that's all he ended up with. And I am very impressed with that. He come in and bowled.
That's the good thing about Maxwell.
Come in and bowled the power play. Got hit for 1 bomb. 1 bomb's all right. You cop 1 bomb in the power play against arguably 2 of the better openers for T20 in world cricket at the moment, and Guptill and Mitchell. And then come on and bowled to Williamson when he's firing. I think he bowled really, really well. Pat Cummins bowled good for not much reward. His slow ball bounces were just killing him. Zampa again bowled really well. Josh Hazelwood, though, holy man, he is just on another level at the moment, and I can't wait to see him with the red ball in his hand.
I can't wait to see that zooming, bro. That's going to be...
He's going to dominate him. Pat Cummins, remember, has been not playing cricket for the last 6 months, and this is his first cricket back. So he is always going to be a bit rusty. He didn't even play the IPL. Well, Hazelwood and that did come from the IPL.
Did you see that ball that Hazelwood put down to dismiss Mitchell?
It's good, eh?
Oh, man, just roll those fingers over and just got that slight bit slight bit of cutting off the pitch.
That's what the pitch was holding, so it had a little bit of stick to it. So all the finger rollings were doing it. Well, and like Stark has it, but it just wasn't working for him. He's just bowling a little full, but
he's an express bowler. The
thing you got to remember is on that. This is why I have the argument on bowlers. Like, yes, I understand that some bowlers are going to do better than others. Remember that there's been pitches where it's a lot faster, skiddier, and some of those bowlers don't look anywhere near as good as Stark. Stark can bowl good. And Stark's last over was actually really nice. He got pumped in the middle overs by Williamson. Like
Williamson was on. He was on then.
85
he was
48. So
he was seeing him from a fucking beach ball, bro.
The rest of them didn't bat that great, but it was a hard pitch to bat on. Kane Williamson made it look bloody easy. Made it look so easy. Good boy. And I saw it, and they finished that. And I'm like, if we don't hit these runs, that'll go down as one of the best captain knocks you'll see in cricket on the international stage. Out we come. And Warner looked good. And then Finch got out. Warner still looking good. Fuck, man. Finch got out. Mitch Marsh come out and just, boom, put him in the stands. I was like, holy fuck, this guy is just oozing confidence. Like, he's on here. And Dave Warner, I like Dave Warner, but we've been watching him for so long. I sometimes I get like I want new blood, but he batted like the old days. You just instead of like him standing there playing a shot, you're like, "Oh, we're gonna get out playing that shot." It was, look at him go. Hit this next one for a big bomb too.
He's firing. Look at him. Yeah.
The best one was he did the on one knee, slog swept back down the ground, dead straight. And I was like, he's on. He's on.
As straight as an arrow. Like that's the straightest six I have seen in ages, man.
You know, sometimes when you see him go up, you're like, it's going to get caught.
Yeah.
I didn't have that fear anymore in Warner. Like, I just thought, he said it, it's gone.
He was back to the destructive Dave Warner.
Fear in Mitch Marsh. But he'd hit it, and I'm like, it's going to go straight down someone's throat. And then it'd bounce perfectly in the gap and then just smash off the fucking boundary walls. I'm like, he hit that with force. He was just clubbing them, muscling them over.
I do have to admit, though, even though they lost, that 85 from 48, that is great for a captain to stand up and do that for their team.
Mind you, this, again, I don't want to harp on players that people don't like, but I'm going to do it. Davey Warner batted really, really well, but batted with good intent. Mitchell Marsh come out and hit at 154 strike rate, hit the fastest 50 in a World Cup final ever.
Yep.
Awesome. Mitchell Marsh played fucking awesome. Mind you, as much as he gets flack all the time, Glenn Maxwell come out and hit at 155 strike rate as well. 28 off 18. He did exactly what he needed to do to win that game. And a lot of the time I'm sitting there going, this cunt's going to get himself out. Do you know, not once did I think that Maxwell was going to get out. He didn't. He played a few rash shots, but he just looked like he had so much more time. He wasn't trying too hard. Sometimes I think he gets in his own head for trying too hard. And this time he's just come out calm. Whatever Justin Langer said.
Have a look at the way he got.
Whatever Aaron Finch said in the dressing room, whatever it is, the batsmen come out with a really clear mentality. And like, as someone who plays a lot of cricket, if you've got a clear mentality when you go out to bat, you do not feel like you can get out. You just don't. And then you get out, and that's when they look like they get out and they play their shot again. You're like, what's that? Because it didn't even register that they really gotten out because they don't. They're so clear, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Conway punched in the base like you're trying too hard. Like these boys weren't trying too hard. Like they're just let's go.
They just saw beach balls coming at them, bro. That's all they saw.
They were just on top of it.
That's how confident they were. They saw beach balls coming down the pitch.
It was great. It was great.
And like Mitch Marsh coming out and smacking that first ball, it was just like, he's either going to go big or go home. And you know that was his mentality when he come out.
No, it was good. It was good to see Mitch Marsh dominate. It's Yes.
And I don't think that he would be too fast if he made that 50 odd and then got out. just the way that he was playing.
He wanted to win it. He wanted to win it. You saw when he
hit the winning runs. He was
so pumped. He was so pumped. We'll wrap it up now. Wrap up the T20 talk. I think Zampa was hard done by for not getting player of the series. I think that it was a bit overdone giving it to Warner. I don't know how much Candace Warner paid the officials to get him man of the series, but I'm assuming it was a lot. I actually don't know if it's ICC, like the Australian Cricket Board, that's paid them to give it to him to like amp him up for the Ashes series. I honestly think that he batted really well and got there and everything like that. But if you're going to have a man of the series, like he only really stood up in the last couple of games. He did fail a lot at the start. I think
you got to really give it to one of the bowlers that held the teams.
Zampa and Hazelwood had two absolute fucking blinder of a series. That I'm sorry that they deserved it a lot more in my books.
I will agree with that.
I'm a bowler, obviously. When I play cricket, I love bowling. That's just me. But, Zampa, 7 games, 13 wickets at an economy of 5.8. Josh Hazelwood, 7 games, 11 wickets at an economy of 7.29. Like, why not give it to them? Yeah, I understand that Menindu Hasaranga technically got better figures than Zampa, but their figures have been buffed because a lot of their games were against before the Super 12, by the way. Yeah. So they actually technically got figures they technically played extra games. They've got more matches than Zampa did. And they're against like Namibia and stuff like that, which he got a lot of his wickets from there. So it's a bit of an
Netherlands, all those.
Yeah, a bit of an inflated
affiliate teams.
His stats were slightly inflated. But yeah, no, I think Zampa or Hazelwood probably deserved to be man of the series, or even if you wanted to say a Trent Bolt.
Yeah.
Trent Bolt. Trent Bolt, 13 wickets, 6.25. He bowled. I think the bowlers have been hard done by in this.
Yep.
But again, like I said, I'm a bowler. So
if I was to pick playing cricket, I would pick batting over bowling, right? I can't bowl for shit. I can bowl a decent ball every now and then, but I love batting. And coming from me that loves batting, those bowlers are hard done by. Like you got to think, if we're batting second, right? Those bowlers are going to do all that work first to stop them getting a massive total.
Yeah, I like the mind games of bowling.
And the bowlers did it. The bowlers got in their heads and went, all right, you might pump me for 6. Have a look at Harris Ralph when he come out and bowled against us last week. Like, Harris Ralph come out, first ball went for 6. He's like, yeah, that's cool. Go again. I dare you to try and hit it again. Like, that's just the mind game.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that on the main stage, though. No, but I do that to people like, I think I can get out, but against like the top batsmen, you're like, nah, I have to do something different. I have to make them fuck up.
I think it was against like Wade or something. So it was further down the line when he come in and started bowling, and he was like, yeah that's nice, but didn't realize that Wade was going to be our hero.
Yeah, no, he batted awesome. All right. So that was awesome talking about the T20. We're cricket fans. That was fucking amazing. We'll quickly just duck into the F1 since they're racing every weekend. So we'll quickly keep up with that. My boy Louis, the champion we were talking about last week, got up.
Yeah, from P10 at Sao Paulo.
Quite a convincing win too, really.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Blitzed them, really. And in F1, that's fucking be surprised.
And just think of this. They did a qualifying, right? Lewis Hamilton got pole position, qualified pole, then got disqualified due to his DRS gap. So there's a gap in your rear ring.
Yeah.
The DRS gap was too big, so it was illegal. He got disqualified from the whole qualifying. So they did a qualifying for the sprint race, and then it was a sprint for the grid. So whatever you finished at the sprint was what you got for the race.
Yeah.
He come from last and got 5th. And then got a 5 grid penalty due to a new ICE unit, internal combustion engine unit. And so he got the five grid penalty, got 10th, and come back and overtook Verstappen and got the win. Like,
it's so weird F1 in that, like, oh, that's too big a gap. That's where you're getting a penalty. Why the fuck didn't they know that beforehand?
Why
they
didn't.
put it
They
on the
didn't
beginning?
know. They didn't know until Max Verstappen went over and had a look and actually touched the car. And Max Verstappen got a €50,000 fine for touching Lewis Hamilton's car.
But like, wouldn't they have to be scrutinized before they even go on the track?
You go on Parc Ferme, you should know it on Parc Ferme. Parc Ferme is where they go over the car and they make sure everything is to detail.
That's what I mean. You should get a penalty. If anything, the officials should get penalized and give him a 2-minute head start.
They could have turned around and said that they could have altered it during qualifying.
It's a fair bit to fucking alter.
Yeah, changing the gap of your wing.
It says like you've just changed the entire frame. Like, what I mean, I guess they changed it back down pretty quick, smart, didn't they?
But it was just amazing. Like I woke up, I went to work, and I went, I'm gonna see what's happening in the world of sport this morning. Saw the trophy presentation for the cricket. Went, shit, the F1's racing as well. There's Lewis Hamilton standing at the podium, at the top of the podium, and I'm just like, wow.
That's 100 too, isn't it? That's 100 Grand Prix.
101.
101. Look at that.
Yep.
Handsome man winning races still. So much for everyone. So much for him having a whinge, and they're like, "Oh, he's such a whinger." Who cares? He can drive. Shut the fuck up.
He can drive. Yeah, and I'm like, he's what, 14 points behind Max Verstappen now with 3 races to go.
So 3 races to go.
3 races to go. So one's this weekend, and then they'll have 2 weeks from then on.
Ooh.
And there's 3 races to go, and he's only 14 points behind. Mind you, a win is 25 points, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so he needs to win. He needs to win, and Verstappen to sort of come like 5th, 6th.
Yes, 6th, 7th. Like, I know 10th is 1 point, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18. It's something silly like that.
Okay.
So
Lando Norris. Sorry, I'm just laughing at his name. Is Lando.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I don't have anything else to say to F1 unless you want to say anything more. I'm still kind of believe it's cars going around in circles real fast.
Yeah, that's fine by me. Go on. Hey, I'm going to tell you this right now. Go and watch Drive to Survive. That will open your eyes up.
Rush is a really good formula.
Rush is really good, but Drive to Survive on Netflix.
Better.
It's a TV series. They follow F1 around the world.
Okay.
And just watch it. It'll open your eyes up on what actually happens in the world of F1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go on to some video games, I reckon now. I think it's time for the video game segment of our podcast. Right. So let's talk about the first-person shooters. Vanguard, Apex, Battlefield. I got early access to Battlefield. I haven't actually been able to get onto a server, but I played the AI thing, and it feels really nice, but it seems really buggy and stuff. I don't... If it's getting released, they're going to need a definite big change in there somewhere. There's still just way too many little issues, like server issues and getting into the games and stuff like that, party issues, just stuff like that just doesn't... It looks amazing and looks like it plays amazing, but it plays nice, but it's just so much hype around it, and it still just doesn't... It's not perfect. It's already been delayed by 2 months, and it's still not perfect. Like, it looks visually amazing, plays nice, but some people are like, oh, it's no different to the last one. Well, why change a winning formula? It's sort of one of those things.
It is.
Well, what else are you going to do? What is he going to do different? Like, it's Battlefield. You're not just going to go, oh, all of a sudden we're going to start doing this. What they have done is they've brought in these little mini modes, which they'll just fuck around with every week. So one there's the moment, it's called Fiesta, and it's technically sponsored by Courage JD, and it's just team deathmatch. They just grabbed one quadrant, like one, say, sector, and they just turn it into a little team deathmatch, which you can level your guns at, do that, and that's cool. Like, bring in these little tiny game modes as well as the big game modes, and turn it into something wrong. On the portal already, you can get on there and you can just set it up so, like, 1,000, like 500 AIs just keep coming out, and you don't give them any guns, and they run out and just pretend to be zombies, and they just try to punch you. Like, you can do little things like that. You can change up how the game works. It's got so much potential, but there just seems to be something wrong with it still. I don't know what it is. It's just a server issue. But this week, I'm going to probably stick away from Vanguard, since I think they fixed their server issues a little bit. My mate seems to be getting into games. Yesterday, I was just playing cricket all day, so I didn't get a chance to play. So I'm going to play that. Hopefully, I can get more of a gauge, and by next week, we can talk more about where a Battlefield is standing against Vanguard.
That's what I'm going to do. I've got Battlefield.
Oh, beautiful. Well, we might be able to play later. Vanguard's still got an issue of, it's really nice, plays really good because it's on the Modern Warfare engine.
Yep.
Shoots nicely, blah, 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 blah. But its TTK is too small, which I can agree with. As I like it because you don't have to hit too many shots in a row. You can just use a bit more of a powerful gun, and everything kills really quick. You know, they saying, oh, this gun's OP. It's like, every gun's OP. Like, every gun you can use in any situation really and get away with it. The only guns that aren't is sniping. Sniping's been really not bugged. It's just slow to aim, which is fine. Sniping's fine if you had a higher TTK. Yeah. Such a small TTK makes the slow snipers and the big flinch just not work because they're just not fast enough to keep up the quick TTK. It's technically the quickest, but in saying that, your meta TTK and say Modern Warfare 2, which is everyone's favorite game, is exactly the same pace. If you use stopping power with a meta gun, like an UMP or something like that, UMP. I just always used to call it the UMP.
Yeah, the UMP. Yep.
Its TTK was 1 millisecond or 1 second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's as quick as anything else. You just kill them. Like, it's not any different. And that's the bit that some people can't quite grasp. Like, oh, but the DTK is too quick. It's like, yeah, so was Modern Warfare for a lot of the guns. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, but it is too quick. After the thing of all like Warzone and being able to move around and do like, you can't do that. If you get caught even slightly out of place, you just die because you die too quickly. You only have to wing them and they're dead.
Yeah.
Apex hasn't even been on the radar. Hasn't even been on the radar. It's just, the new map was good.
I got issues with it now because I've been grinding ranked. I've got a little bit of issues with it, but
you don't like it?
It's such an open map. Why is there so little loot?
But we said that before. Like, even if you're killing the creatures, there's no point. You get a little bit of ammo for the gun you're using, but sometimes you use more ammo than you get out of it.
Killing, exactly right. Yeah, that is correct.
And then the for the one loot box, it gives you, maybe if you're lucky, a purple armor. You do upgrade your armor as you go, but not near enough.
Nah, and just the way that all the POIs are is every POI is a hot drop, no matter where you go.
The only thing with Apex that's sort of saving it is the other games that come out have failed a little bit. Well, Apex is the same, and everyone's going to go back to Apex as a great saving grace. Yeah. Now, there's been a few games that come out on the 11th, mostly remasters. I don't know if you've seen anything to do with the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition. They are essentially calling it Cyberpunk.
Yep.
Cyberpunk 2. Like, it's just, the visual graphics were just fuck. I actually didn't get the chance to play it, but I had a look around. Why was it so cartoony? Like, everything that what they did back in the day is they tried to go really realistic with what they had, and it looked good. But for the day, it looked awesome. Now it runs nice, and it's bright. Don't get me wrong, it looks bright, vibrant, and it's like, ooh, but it's Fortnite-y. Feels like Fortnite.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's not, it's too cartoony, and some of the visual graphics they got on the characters are just terrible. And supposedly people are glitching out, and they're putting like extra missions in there, and the missions don't work, and just completely fucked. And I just don't. All we wanted was the games out that just flowed a little bit better. It could look the same. We just wanted the frame rates upped. We just wanted to be able to run at a higher frame rate, so everything sort of moved a bit smoother. and
yeah,
brighter.
have it
Just
run
put it on
so
brighter.
anyone can use it. Yeah, exactly right.
I could have sworn they could have put the old game's inputs and just put it into a slightly newer engine. Don't change anything and just let it run nicer.
Yep.
No one cared about the fact that the graphics were going to change. I think everyone
Not
wanted
when
a
it's
little,
like a nostalgic game.
everyone
like
wanted it to be like a little brighter and stuff, which is very easy to do, like brightening the game up, making it a little bit more, like the line's a bit more definitive because of the extra brightness and a bit more clarity. But it just fucked it. They just didn't even come close to doing it right.
They're saying this. They said here immediately after the premiere. Unfortunately, first the Rockstar Games launcher, which is on PC, was turned off. So they turned the game launcher off, and secondly, when it returned, it was no longer possible to buy a new version of GTA for PCs. So they pulled the sales of that whole definitive edition away.
Right.
So everyone that got stuck with it.
Like,
have it sitting there and not.
I like they're remastering all this stuff, but how is it getting to this? Why is it that every game we're playing at the moment that seems to come out new fucked? Why is it that any game we're getting excited for, Cyberpunk, GTA Trilogy, all these games are just broken in some way? Vanguard's had its issues. Like Battlefield's got its issues.
As you pointed out, Battlefield's got its issues. Yeah.
Weirdly enough, Apex is working, but Apex is only working because it's been out for so long.
Yeah, they've got a mold.
Warzone's got issues. Bring out the fucking anti-cheat already. For fuck's sakes, just bring it out. Why is it taking so long?
No, they did. They brought it out. But guess what?
It's not out.
It was fucked in the first day.
No, it's not. It's not out. It never got released. Everyone keeps forgetting it doesn't come out till Pacific comes out. It doesn't come out till the 5th of December. They've talked about it, but it's not actually out yet.
So why have all this hype about a fucking anti-cheat and saying, oh, it's coming, but then wait until the next biggest update? When you have so many people
they put in different versions of an anti-cheat in to try see what they can come up with, but they haven't put their anti-cheat into function yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's getting beyond a joke that all these games are failing. The one game so far that hasn't failed because they haven't fucked around with it too much, and it's getting a re-release with 26 new Creation Club items. So all the awesome mods, they've taken secondhand mods that other people have made, put it into the game that they're selling because they work so good. The Skyrim Anniversary Edition, they've nailed it. They haven't had any bugs. From what I can gather, there has been no bugs, no more different to any Bethesda game. If anything, because they put in these Creation Club things, a lot of them actually are fixes for bugs. So when I play Fallout 4, anytime I ever play Fallout 4 now or any Fallout game, you go there and you go for, say Fallout 3, you go for Fallout 3 and then the first thing you do is you update a mod from Creation Club called like Fallout 3 fixes or Fallout 3 upgrade or whatever it is. And what it does, it literally takes out all the little bugs and breaks and makes everything flow a little bit better. And fixes up like frame rate places, some places you go to and like the frames will drop out. It fixes that. Fixes a lot of little tiny issues. And Skyrim Anniversary Edition have just gone, you know what? We'll put that in standard. We'll put in the fishing mechanic. We'll put in the fishing mechanic that someone come up with. We'll put that in standard. They've just put everything in standard. They haven't fucked with it. What they have fucked with is they've gone, that's awesome. I'm so happy that they've made that. We're going to sell it. We're going to give you some money for this and we're going to sell it. Yep. So everyone who gets the Anniversary Edition is also getting 4 of the Creation Club items free for November. They'll receive the Saint and Seducer's Quest expansion made by someone else, Rare Curious expansion, survival mode, and the fishing skill and quest. A skill. It's a skill.
Yeah.
Hell.
Like all 48 previously released Creation Club items, and then
the Anniversary Edition mess up your mods
on top.
Yeah, and then like any mods you want to put on there, you can just put on there straight away. Bethesda have gone, instead of not harming people for mods, some companies have started to go, well, let's embrace them. And I like how Bethesda's gone, let's make a thing called Creation Club so they can upload it nice and easy through our scripts.
Yep.
And people just install it. And like with the Creation Club, you actually can put it in order on the thing, even on console, and to a point where it won't break the game.
Yep.
Just put it in this
You
order.
gotta have
It'll
this
say-
one first and this one, and
and
this one's got to be activated. Yeah.
and like that's
It's
awesome.
it's the same for ESO on PC.
Yeah, well, that's to me Bethesda in general. It's just Bethesda in general. I've just done
but
that.
I think that's where they brought it
And
in. Is
GTA are originally against it, and then GTA blends into it. They've gone, well, you know what? This role playing shit's good. Let's lean into it. And they've started to lean into a lot of their mods. Hey, let's fuck them. Let's make it easier for them to get superhero mods, and they can just bash the fuck out of everything. Let's make it easier for them.
Exactly.
And what they've done is by making it easier, it now doesn't break the game anywhere near as often.
Yep.
And no one has to be like, downloading some random site and getting banned from it. They can put mods on there and be happy that the developers of the game are embracing it.
Yeah.
Smart. If I didn't just get 2 new games, like I'd probably be playing Skyrim again. I think I'm gonna have to. Since GTA hasn't worked, I think I'm just gonna have to go back to Skyrim. My mate's already sent me. My mate who loves RPG games. He only plays RPGs. He only plays offline. He just sent me a Snapchat saying, "Oh no, it's fine. I can start this game again because it's got a fishing mechanic now."
But that's the thing. That's the thing that's the thing that Bethesda has embraced. Like, you are adding on to the game. You are creating a new game within it by creating that new skill.
With the Creation Club, it's including like Morrowind inspired thing and weapons, best expansions. In total, Bethesda says that there are 74 Creation Club items included in the Skyrim, represent over 500 new gameplay elements.
That is unreal.
They just allow it.
Survival mode.
So they've got like the picture I'm just looking at right now from Bethesda is like a Creation Club thing where they turned one of the horses into a unicorn.
Unicorn, yeah.
Oh, mate's running a unicorn around.
Yep.
How good. Like, they've put on like old school armor and stuff. Like, that's so cool.
Like, you got mounts in the game. That's one thing that they brought into the game is mounts.
What do you mean by mounts?
MOUNTS.
What's a mount?
A horse.
Well, you could already have horses.
But the horses, like, you can get wolves and shit that you can ride on as well now.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying about mounts. Is it's not just like a horse.
What's what I mean? I was just talking about mounts. I'm like, they already had horses. Oh, I don't want to spend so much time playing Skyrim again, but the fuck, I'm gonna have to. I know.
But that's like, I just saw here, if you own the special edition on PC, AE, which is Anniversary Edition, is available as a DLC. That's it. Rather than an entirely new game.
So it's $10 or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you have the special edition,
you can upgrade to Skyrim for $20 US, $30 AUD, or $20 Euro, or $15, £15. That's awesome, eh? And if you've already played the original Skyrim and haven't come back, the Dragonborn DLC is fucking amazing, and the Dawnguard one was good, but I wouldn't say it's amazing.
It wasn't as good as Dragonborn.
The amazing part of Dawnguard is this one particular mission where you get to put into a place called Solkarn, and that was the coolest fucking shit ever, because you can only go there once, and that's it. You can't go there again. It's one of those weird ones, and once you're in there, you have to explore everything, and it takes a lot of your time, but it's so weird and out there, and you're like, this is so fucking cool. I think they should have given you. Oh, they gave you a 0-star in that mission. You get a 0-star in Skyrim.
You get a 0-star.
From where?
0 stars. Is that the sword?
Nah, 0 stars the soul gem you can keep using over and over again.
Yeah. I know you can.
Zero stars from Morrowind. Actually, I think it may possibly be even from Redguard, but I could be wrong there.
What's the Zorish sword that you can get? I know you can get that in
Dawn's Star. No, what's that sword called?
You know what I'm talking about. Azura's sword.
That's Dawn Star or something like that. It's the sword that's really good against Draugr.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna That's gonna have to fucking play Skyrim again. No.
Bro, they've already put in into Anniversary Edition the Skyrim Special Edition rollback mod.
Yeah.
Like, that's not bad.
It's good. Gonna have to play it, I guess. Whoops, bit of beer everywhere.
Yeah, gonna have to, I reckon.
Unless Battlefield doesn't become amazing and I don't get to grind that out. That bad boy.
We shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. Any other games you want to talk about at the moment? There's nothing really on my radar apart from those particular games we talked. Apart from like Vanguard, Apex, Battlefield, the GTA problems, and Skyrim. There hasn't really been any other games that have caught my attention. Obviously, I'm kind of looking. I mean, I don't have enough time in the day, but I am interested in the new Pokemon that's coming out. I see a lot of people.
What about that other Bethesda game that's coming out? That
Elden Ring.
That's space one, yeah.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking
Starfield.
About. Yeah.
I think that's still a year off.
Yeah.
What I
something
did hear was a confirmation on Fallout 5.
Yes, but they did say it might be a while.
I don't even care if I'm a fucking granddad by the time it comes out, as long as it's good.
Yeah.
I hope they do one. I would be so interested to do a Los Angeles one, LA.
Yeah.
LA or see they did New Vegas, but I'd love to do like Texas. Let's like change it up. Go away from those big cities. Go somewhere real crook.
Yeah.
And have a good time. Or amalgamate it over 2 states or 2 big cities and see what they can do with it.
That's one game that actually has piqued my interest lately is Forza Horizon 5.
I've been told to get Forza for a while by a couple of people, but mostly one dude in particular just keeps pestering me to get it. Looks amazing, but I don't know. I haven't really been into a racing car game since Gran Turismo 2. And any other time I played like racing car games is like the Burnout series or Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit or something like that back in the day, maybe. But it's just not like anytime you wanted to play a car racing game, you just played Grand Theft Auto. Like you got car racing in that. I understand you don't get the mods and stuff.
The fact that they bring out with Horizon.
I used to play a lot of Dirt actually back in the day.
Dirt was good.
I've played a few adaptations of Dirt in my time. They were pretty good. I mean, I don't have the steering wheel and shit like you do. I only play on a controller.
Yeah. Like I love the Horizon games. Like I started with Forza Horizon 3, which was the Australian version.
Oh yeah.
And it was amazing. Cruising through Surfers Paradise, just running amok through surfers.
You do that in real life.
In this souped up muscle car. It was amazing.
Oh, I go through there and fucking board bogus. Rip it up.
And then
go down there, rip it up, get stabbed by someone. Have a great time.
Horizon 4 was over in England, and now this one's in Mexico. I just love the fact that they're changing it up.
Yeah,
the different
it's
games.
cool. Like I get it. Everyone seems to be on board with it, and it's free with Game Pass, which is pretty cool. But
yeah,
just don't. If I've got time to play a racing car game, I'd rather sink that time into Skyrim or Battlefield or something like that. I can find reasons not to play it, and that's why I don't want to play it. Like I need a game that I want to play, not a game that I'm trying to find reasons to play. Like I like games where I can't put down. Vanguard at the moment has been one of those games where once I hop on, it's hard for me to put down.
Yeah.
Look at the time, I'm like, holy fuck, it's midnight. I better hop off.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just I work in the morning. But yeah, racing car games just don't do it for me anymore. Some people like it, but it's just not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just dungeon crawl instead.
Yeah.
You see, you're into F1, so that's why you like the idea of just driving.
Yeah. I'm into that and like supercars and I don't know, it's just something I grew up with.
I like yelling at people at supercar races.
Can't wait for Bathurst. Let's just say that.
You going to Bathurst?
Long enough. I know. I'm watching it. I don't give a fuck.
When's
I'm just
Bathurst
sitting
on?
there. A couple of weeks.
Is it really? I thought Bathurst is already done.
Bathurst is usually September, October, but they're making it this year because due to COVID, they're making it the last race of the season, which is 30th of November. So it goes for a full week, 6-day.
Yeah, but it's just
6-day event.
a big heap of bogans drinking black rats and having a bad time.
Yeah, sitting up on a hill watching a car come past you every now and then. Every 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes a car comes past.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
if you're not, I have to admit, as someone who's not a big fan of motorsport, going there's a completely different thing. You're at motorsport. It's fucking fun as it's cool. Got to deal with a lot of like people you wouldn't want to deal with. A lot of people you talk to them or they talk to you and you're like, oh, I don't. I talk to everyone too. I want to get the waves every cunt that goes past. But you end up talking to people you don't want to talk to. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, oh, or you're sitting close to someone who's just being obnoxious. You're just like, oh, go away.
Yeah.
You're like,
go over there.
When they bought the supercars to Townsville, I was an apprentice, but like I was earning next to no money. And my mate who lived out of town, he goes, mate, I've got tickets to V8s, 2 tickets. I don't have anywhere to stay. He said, the price it costs for me to stay somewhere is more expensive than the ticket itself. He's like, we're already best mates. He goes, I want you to come anyway. I know you don't like motorsports, but come anyway.
Yep.
Only if I can stay at your house. I'm like, you can stay at my house anyway, man. You can take someone else and still stay at my house. You don't have to. No, but that's how he did it to me. He did it as like a surprise. He goes, I can't find nowhere to stay in towns before the V8s. Can I stay at yours? I'm like, yeah, man, stay at mine. Yeah, sweet. I'll pay you. Like, no, you don't have to pay me. Yeah, I'll pay you with the ticket. I want you to come anyway. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to say no to it.
Righto.
Platinum. Jesus. I think the only one that's higher was like being in pits itself. So we're sitting on like in Townsville, it's just after the main straight, you do the first hairpin. We're right there.
Yep.
So for the V8 part, it was really good. But the best part about that spot was when they were doing the Porsche races, because they're all they're not like professional races. They're not professional races. They're all sort of entered in their own cars sort of thing.
Yeah.
Some like they go around the corner like that, and the old mate just goes boom and just folds him into the thing. They crash in like 10 meters in front of me. Like, this is awesome. Getting fucked up on Canadian clubs and Canadian CCs and what was I thinking? Wild turkeys or something like that. I was like, just drinking UDLs from the get-go because beer was exactly the same price. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Yeah. Let's get bogan drunk.
But I reckon that's a good way to finish it. We might have a quick chat about what we can bring up next week.
Next week we'll be talking about, since the World Cup's over, we'll deep dive into the Ashes sides. We may do a quick update on the English Premier League as well. And obviously, due to the F1 being at the same time, we'll probably talk about the F1 again until those 3 races are done. That's for sport. We'll talk about that for the time being. It's cricket season. We're cricket fans. It's going to be pretty much cricket.
But we do have
I want to go back
the NRL transfer market open at the moment as well. I'm pretty interested in that at the moment as well. But that's just me. I'm just a sports nut. So that's me.
I mean, they talk about the transfer market, but how many times do they transfer them and then comes second round in, they start transferring again? Like, NRL transfer market, and the NRL transfer market's a fucking joke. So I'm not really too.
I reckon there should be like a draft and a transfer window, and that's it. Like they do in the Premier League and AFL.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. It's just a joke. But yeah, I'm definitely down to talk what teams are going to be getting. And then we'll go back over the first person shooters in Vanguard, Apex, Battlefield and see where they sit after another week of playing. I could probably. Unless Vanguard doesn't do it, Dan's going to need to do something drastic in the next couple of days to probably pull themselves back. Otherwise, and Battlefield 2, otherwise Apex probably going to take back the number 1 spot. And then we'll talk about few more games that are upcoming over the Christmas period and see how they all go from there. And then probably just speak some shit.
Yeah,
maybe we'll have a story time.
Yeah, maybe. We never know. We might have a look at bringing some special guests in the near future as well.
Yeah, actually, it's not a bad idea. Maybe when it gets close to the Ashes, we might bring in someone talk about cricket.
Some pommy fuck, I reckon.
Yeah.
We might bring some pommy fuck in just to rag on him, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those things that like that test side is just not as good as our fucking white ball sides at the moment. So I'm not...
Hey, we'll wait for the first test. If we flog him in the first test, we'll bring him in.
We're at the
Gabba.
We're not going to lose at the Gabba, are we?
Exactly. So we'll just rag on him all day.
Yeah. Well, thank you for hanging out, guys. Check us out on Twitch something during the week. Keep following the thing. Hopefully we can have this on Spotify this week as well. Thank you so much for hanging out. Any other topics you want to talk about, please let us know. Any other games you see upcoming, please leave a mention in the comments. Like the video so we start to head up those ranks and more people can start hanging out.
It's been a blast.
Thank you, guys. I hope you all stay.
Thanks for your time, Tommy.
Wonderfully handsome and beautiful. Oh, I like just looking at your mustache, mate.
Thank you. Thank you, mate. It's been I appreciate it. It's been a pretty decent idea, this, I reckon. Look at you dick. Oh, shit.
Speaking of scarring, like my scarring poster?
Make you feel
on
top.
Swerve,
girl, I don't believe it. Flex, girl, it's all I see.